Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to Asset World with me, BonBonB. I'm BonBonB, you're very, very welcome, and to coin the phrase from Fraser Crane, I'm listening. Last week's episode 1, the pilot, was critically acclaimed, somewhat negatively, shall we say. I've listened to the problems. Unfortunately, this was only ever meant to be a fast build show. I've only got a couple of hours a week spare, and by spending more time on Asset World means there's less chance of any more tutorials or specials or even Skylines talk. So I've got to find a middle ground somewhere. I've done what I can. Today's show is going to take about 6 hours, what with rebuilding the template, etc. But hopefully from now on I can get it done in a couple of hours, maybe 3. Still not enough time to do a proper detailing show, I'm afraid, so don't expect a full detailing show. Now, I've been asked about the layout of the map. Is it completely random? Not really. This is going to be the light residential and like the student area with education, all that kind of stuff going on down there. Skyscrapers and high res is going to be here. Old Town is going to be up the hill around this church kind of area here. Of course, this can't really plan fully because we don't know what's going to be coming up as the next assets, that sort of thing. This is going to be the industrial and trading parks and all that kind of area all the way down the side of the freeway there, or the highway or the motorway, whichever way you want to call it. And we seem to have a fire. Now, I did say that we would only be using assets used within the show. Unfortunately, we do need the essential services, so I put down the vanilla fire station, just one of the basics of each of the services, until we've got our own one set up properly, and we can delete those and we don't need to rely on them. So hopefully the fire services can get to last week's assets before they burn down, and I have to replace them. Darn it, come on, where are you, fire engines? Take your time, why don't you? So yes, so I've changed the format of the show slightly. It's still going to be the same thing where I use 12 assets from the 6 from the current week's SWAT map and 6 from a week back in history, and hopefully the map will fill up nicely with assets. So it's going to be partly random because I don't know exactly what's going to be coming next. It's not going to be like Flux or Strix or Fresh Popcorn or Bisquikle will plan a specific area with specific buildings. I'm going to be reacting to an area. I may have to move buildings around to make them all fit as well. The roundabout here, and of course if you watched last week's special, the funny, yes, our friends are still driving around and around the roundabout in their camper van. Oh, bless them. One day they may find their parking spot. Off you go, one more trip round the roundabout, there they go, and back to the petrol station. What have you forgotten this time? The pet food? Anyway, let's have a quick look at the assets we'll be using today. Quick overview before we do the close-up. Now, there's one we won't be using. You might have spotted the reason already. And that's this one here. This is from WhatsApp number 45, Red Hawk Elementary School by Buddy Deer. It's 3 buildings, and it was originally very perfect. I mean, beautiful. Check WhatsApp 45 to see. But now we've got this blue glitching underneath, a bit of blue mantle kind of thing. There's been a suggested fix, but the fix doesn't work, unfortunately, not for me. So at the moment, we can't use it, and we will delete it from history. And okay, well, let's move on with the, it is a time-lapse build, but it's not quite as fast as last week's. We're going to start off with these from episode 409 of What's Map. These are Chinese-style sculpture pack by amamlya. And a very recent show, so you may recognise these ones from Saturday last week. And they're a lovely set. Done a little bit of surface painting. This is about as much of the detailing you'll actually see from me. Other than that, it's just going to be mostly asset placement. I thought I'd put one of each of these sculptures by each of the 6 roads entering and exiting, so I lined them up like that. And there was kind of a reason for each one going in each location, but it's not important at all. Next up, from episode 43 of WhatsApp, University of Science and Technology by Senfkorn. That's going right there in the new student and industrial area, like a university block really. Then from episode 44 of WhatsApp, Gula's Evil Geniuses High School by Gula. Now, all the links for all of these, the links to the episodes will be in the description down below, and if you want to catch it, you can obviously search the workshop yourself, but the links to the original links will be available in the original episode, so you can click, it's like 2 clicks through to find the link to the asset that you want, that you desire. And making sure we've got enough water flow going down to there. It hasn't actually linked onto a road. I do realise that, the little flashing T. I do fix that in a moment, so don't worry, it is actually going to be connected there. There we go, connected, and there, popped it into place. Okay, that's a lovely building. Next up, from episode 42 of What Map, it's State Library by BenTracker. Another building again, all I think it's Spanish on the front, Biblioteca Publica, whatever, and there, lovely building. Next up, it's a quirky asset. It's the Jedi Temple. I'm fixing out the electricity there. As you can see, we've got a couple of buildings that have gone into abandonment. Don't worry, I'm not going to be using mods to prevent that. It's easily fixed. So yes, so you've got the Jedi Temple there by engelmanna. Yeah, I think that's correct. And that was in episode 46 of What Map, of course. Let's replace those two using Find It, and then we'll pop them into the city. Now these are going to be like high density residential zones, so over in this area here, we can just about squeeze this one in this little gap here. It wasn't part of the plan, but it's going to go in there anyway. It's Aus City L2 2x3 office by Trist 1422, and that's from episode 47 of What Map. And from episode 48 of What Map, we've got the David Stott building by Khyrsler, and a beautiful older building that is too. I think that works better pushed towards the older part of town. Next up, a more modern building, 411, episode 411, the I-209A V3 Moscow, RICO, Russia by Eurasia. That's going to go down there. We'll be doing a little bit of detailing there to make them work a bit better, of course. From episode 412, it's the old cooling tower Powerplant by Feindbild. Lovely power plant unit here, and this is, like I say, we're now going into the industrial area. I'm doing a little bit of road working here, and of course everything will expand, and we will have to move buildings around to make them fit as the build progresses. But that's kind of what the likes of Strict Toast to do anyway, isn't it? Come on, admit it, they do shift things if need be. Like you can do it in real life, of course. If you can do it in real life, you can do it in Cities Skylines. Next up, with the old iron foundry by Othercakes. This, once you use Find It, you'll find it as coal power plant. So yeah, that's one of these awkward assets that doesn't have the same name as it does on the workshop. And then we have House LDR2 5x2 RICO project 12288 by Targa, and it's a low density residential. It's a large building that works as a low density residential, like flats kind of thing, I would suggest there. And we're finishing with a little bit of detailing here, because it's a pack. There are 6 items in the pack. I'm only using 4 of them because some of them are the sea walls as such, and to be honest with you, by the time I'd done all the detailing on that, I just wouldn't have had time to have done the show at all. So I've done a little bit of detailing here. This is going to be doing some of our water services in time, and yes, I will connect this up with electricity by the end of the episode. I don't know if you get to see that actually on camera, but I'm dragging out the power. Yeah, the power lines are ugly. I can't remember who it was. One of you regular lovely commenters did suggest or the no power lines mod and all that sort of stuff. I'm not that worried, because we will actually be, I've got Anarchy on, look at that. I will actually be sort of like just tweaking things as we go along, and the city will fill out and fill in the gaps, and all these little issues that you see now with ugly power lines, they can go. And of course we've got things like the suburban power line mod. That's a beautiful one, and that at some point will enter this city, and we'll do some lovely work with that as well. So that is basically it of today's episode with the placements. I'm just making sure we've got water everywhere at the moment, all the behind the scenes workings. And we will finish every episode with a cinematic where I don't talk. So I'm going to take this opportunity to say thanks very much for watching. I've been BonBonB. You've been very, very welcome. Join me Monday to Saturday for What Map, and don't miss this week's chart show, which is already up and online. Thanks for watching.